Hi everyone, it's Richard from Invicta Property Investments, and we're going to do a quick video blog today talking about your education and how important your education is, because the one thing that we've learned over the last 3.5-4 years of investing is education is key to making sure you're successful, and that's what everybody wants from real estate. Everybody wants to be successful. So we've got 4 books for you today that we're going to actually show you, and you'll see how well used they are because of the little tabs in the top of them. But the first one I want to talk about today is this one. This is where it all starts. This is the Authentic Canadian Real Estate System by Don R. Campbell, who's the president of the REIN network across Canada, one that we are actually members of. And this is the thing that gets you started. This gives you a real basic understanding of how markets work, how real estate works, and how important it is to get your numbers correct from the beginning in real estate. So this is where, in my opinion, this is where it all starts. It's certainly where it started for me. So that's the first one. Acre System, Don R. Campbell. Second one. So the second one is you've got to know where you stand on a tax and accounting. You don't have to be an expert in tax and accounting. You don't want to be an expert in tax and accounting, but you have to be educated. You have to know what's going on in the world of tax and accounting, because two things that in life are for sure: death and taxes. Taxes you can't get away from. Death you can't get away from. It's going to happen. But if you're educated about taxes, you can save some money. So this is the second one. This is the Canadian Real Estate Investor. This is the tax tips and strategies, written by a guy called George Dubé and Steve Cohen. One's a lawyer, one's an accountant. Sensible to put the two together and do a book about it. So that's one that just gives you a good outline of tax and accounting for the real estate investor. Very different from just the normal stuff. So that's the second book. Third book. So the third book is by an American, so don't turn the video off. I know it's an American, but he's got some really good stuff to say. It's actually by a guy called Gary Keller, and this is what it looks like. This is the Millionaire Real Estate Investor by Gary Keller. Now this guy is the guy who founded Keller Williams, one of the hottest growing real estate brokerages in the whole of Canada. And interesting to note as well that the Keller Williams team from Halifax are the #1 growing brokerage in all of North America. But what this one does is it gives you a little bit of a different strategy. It's not all about Canadian real estate investing, but so many techniques, so many strategies in here that you can actually apply in Canada. So that's the third one. Millionaire Real Estate Investor, Gary Keller. Really good book. Final one. So the final one is actually by Don R. Campbell again, but it's also got a guy called Kieran Trass from New Zealand, who is an expert, absolute genius at predicting real estate cycles and what they're going to do. Very much more economic than the Acre System book, the first one, but so important in today's real estate market to know where you stand in the real estate cycle so that you can capitalize from it and make the money and get an exit strategy, because you need to know what to do. And that's what this one looks like. Very similar, as you'll see, to the Acre book, but again, it's one of those books, and it's the same branding throughout all of Don Campbell's books. So this is this one. This is the secrets of the Canadian real estate cycle. Economics, very technical, however extremely important to understand what really is going on. So that's that one. This is the Investor's Guide, again, Don Campbell, Kieran Trass. And also don't forget Greg Head, who's the guy who actually brought Kieran over and showed him, and he's the data guy. Greg Head is the one who knows all of the data behind the methodology in here. So those are the 4 books that we would actually recommend. We've got lots of others. You should see my bookshelf. It's bending because it's that much, but it's so important. These things aren't exactly $150 a piece. They're cheap books. It's cheap education. So get them, get educated, become a sophisticated real estate investor. Thanks for listening.